everyone, and welcome back to the Balanced Student Podcast, or welcome back to my YouTube channel, because now I'm going to be putting most of the episodes on Spotify and also on YouTube, so that is more accessible to more students and we can help more people. So I am so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this episode, if you're on Spotify, please leave a rating. It means the world to me. And if you are on YouTube, if you can like this video and subscribe and all of the things, that would mean so much. So today we are talking about if you want to have a life outside of school, what you should do. But before we get into it, I just want to quickly apologize that there has been such a massive gap in episodes. I think this is the longest time I've ever gone without making an episode. And that's because about a month ago, in a few days time, it'll be a month ago, I launched Academy, and it has been a lot of work, but I've also just had such a mental block of like what to do with the podcast, because it's going to be so much work for me to maintain the podcast and making new modules to help the students that are in Academy. So it's going to be a lot of work, but I'm still working out what I'm going to do with that. But that has sort of been the reason why there's a bit of delay between the episodes. I hope that doesn't bother you guys too much. Anyways, back to it. So today we are talking about what to do if you want to live a life outside of school. I remember when I was in middle school and even high school, I would see all my friends going out on the weekends, doing really fun things like going to the beach, baking cookies, going to visit their grandparents, all these fun things, and I was just so confused as to why I wasn't doing that as well. I just never understood how they always seem to have time to do that fun stuff, even when it was right in the middle of the term, and meanwhile I was buried in my books. Because while they'd be out doing that, I would be locked away in my study doing work. Pretty much every weekend I would be studying from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. And honestly, at that time, I didn't really think it was a problem. I thought that that kind of dedication and that level of discipline and that level of insanity to an extent was necessary to achieve the results that I wanted. And to an extent, yes, there is some level of discipline and dedication that is required to achieve goals that you have, such as if you are wanting to run a marathon, yes, you're going to have to get up every morning and go for a run. There's no way around that. You can't avoid the hard work. And sometimes, yes, you do need to say no to fun things, like if your friends are going out clubbing every weekend, but you want to focus on improving your fitness, then you're going to have to look at your priorities and make some decisions there. However, as I experienced firsthand, not only did saying no to absolutely everything leave me completely burnt out, but I was also just missing out on all the fun, exciting parts of life. Because school and uni aren't just about getting good grades, okay? They're also about meeting new people, having new experiences, and just doing things that make you happy. And yes, I will admit that a large part of the reason why I wasn't doing things was my own fault. Like, I would deliberately turn down social invitations. I would tell my parents that I was too busy to come to the family event. I would just always prioritize study, and I would always tell people that I was busy studying. And quite frankly, I would never make an effort to do anything that I enjoyed apart from studying. I thought that all of that was just a waste of time. So the first thing that I had to do was realize this. Having fun and enjoying your life are not a waste of time. They are all part of living a meaningful life. Because when you graduate school or you graduate university, you're not going to look back and smile at all the times that you were locked in, glued to your desk. Yes, that is still important though. Do not just scrap all your work. Because no, you're going to instead look back at all those times that you went to the shopping center with your friends after school, or you had your school formal or prom if you're in America, or your grandparents came to your graduation. You remember those times that you went camping on a weekend in the middle of the term, or you went for a hike with your friends, or you baked muffins for a bake sale. Because yes, that time studying is still important, and you do need to work hard to get the results that you want. But productivity on its own does not entirely constitute a meaningful life. Let me ask you this. If you were making $1 million a year, but you had no time off, you were working at 27 hours a day, you had no holidays and no breaks, what would be the point of it? I mean, yes, sure, you could donate it or upgrade your living spaces, but if you don't have the time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, then what are you even working for? I remember reading this quote in Ali Abdaal's book, Feel Good Productivity, and he said that the only reason we are productive is for people. We work so that we can buy a house for us and our partner to live in. We work so that we can send our children to a good school or support our parents when they retire. Now, obviously as students, our work doesn't directly have the same effect, but the point still stands. What are you working for? Is it just so that you can see a good grade on your report card at the end of the year? Or is it a stepping stone to achieve something greater in your life that's going to help a lot of people? Okay, that was a slightly philosophical rant, but it all boils down to this. Don't live just to study. Study to give yourself the freedom to live a life you enjoy and have a positive impact on the world. And don't go through school without also taking the time to live your life. With all of that being said, here are some actually practical strategies that you can use to live your life outside of school. Keep in mind that these tips only work if you actually use them, so don't just listen to this episode and then do nothing. Actually, get a piece of paper, write them down, and do all the things that I say, because they're not going to have any effect if you don't do them, okay? Okay, step 1, make a list of everything that you would do if you had time. I remember doing this once, and it was everything from learn how to play piano video, to bake cookies, to build an aquarium, and it is going to look so different for literally everyone. Now, the reason we're doing this is because so often we look at what other people are doing on their weekends or in their holidays, and we get really jealous because we're not doing that. But first of all, is it actually something that you would want to be doing? And secondly, is there actually a good reason why you can't also be doing it? For example, I used to see so many people in my year level posting pictures of them at the beach, and I would always think, oh my god, that's so amazing, why am I not doing that? And then I realized two things. First of all, I don't actually like the beach that much. Like, it's not that bad, but I don't know, the beach isn't my preference. And number two, if I wanted to, I could literally catch a tram and be there in half an hour. Anyways, once you've written your list of things that you would do if you had time, then make a list of excuses and reasons why you might not be doing them. Is it too costly? Is it too far away? Do you just not have time? And if you're not doing it because you just can't be bothered, then like, stop complaining, because that's kind of your fault. Now, if one of your excuses is, I just have to focus on school now, I will have fun and enjoy my life after I've graduated. Just stop. Let's take a breath together. If you keep putting off your happiness until the time is over, until the year is over, until you graduate, until you get a job, until you've got your degree, until you start a family, then you will never be happy. If you have to wait for any kind of external condition to be right in order for you to let yourself be happy, then you will never actually achieve it. There will always be things in life that aren't quite perfect, that are difficult. Like right now you're in school, but then after that you're probably going to go to uni, you're probably going to have a job that's going to be equally as difficult, and then you have a family to run, and all of these things, and nothing is ever going to be perfect. Your life is never going to be conducive to being happy. I used to think the same way, thinking that this current chapter or stage in my life is just a transition stage for which after I will let myself feel happy, but this never did anything but left me really unsatisfied. There will always be difficult things in life, and if you let it, life will get in the way of things, but only if you let it. So don't wait for summer, don't wait for graduation. Start living your life right now as if this is already the best chapter of your life. Okay, so now you know all the things that you would do if you had time, we're going to actually now make them happen. Choose one thing on the beach. Let's just say it is going to the beach. Now grab a weekly calendar and let's do some time blocking. Put in every mandatory activity that you currently have. This could be your work shifts, your classes, your team sport trainings. Just put all of that in there. Now that all of that is in there, you can see how much free time you actually have. Now this is the fun part. Take the activity that you chose, say going to the beach, and put it into a bit of that free space. This could be, say, a Saturday afternoon. Now it's happening. It is in your calendar. It is happening. Now, yes, you might need to check on some things like transport or seeing if any of your friends want to go, but now that you've committed, it is in there. You're going to do it. Actually, on that note, you don't always have to do fun things with friends. It is perfectly okay and really enjoyable to take yourself on a solo date or even just stay at home and bake some cookies. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't have to be with friends, okay? Don't feel like there is a pressure to always be out doing things with friends, because you're in company, you're gonna have that for the rest of your life, so you might as well make the most of it and enjoy it. Now, I just want to quickly interrupt and say that the stuff that I've been sharing in this episode is literally just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to all things studies and achieving your highest possible results. So if you're serious about not only balancing your studies and life, but also achieving the highest results that you can, and also understanding your content deeply and mastering any topic that you learn, then I built Academy specifically for you. As a medical science student, I've applied literally all of the methods and strategies that Academy teaches, and it's been able to help me to maintain a 6.8 out of 7 GPA, studying only 2 to 4 hours a day. If this is something that you'd like to achieve, then I put the link to enroll in the description so you can check it out. Okay, back to the episode. Okay, step number 3. Obviously we don't want this to just be a once-off. We don't want to just go to the beach once and then keep living our kind of boring life again. So what we want to do now is make a list of everything that we want to incorporate into our regular day-to-day life. For example, do you want to visit your grandparents every weekend? Is there a best friend that you guys want to have coffee and catch up every week? Or do you want to go away for a weekend with your friends every 6 months? Write down what you would do. If this was an ideal world and there were no excuses, no reasons why you couldn't, write down everything that you ideally would do. And then at the start of every month, take each of these things and put them into your calendar. Text your friend and schedule a date and time to catch up, ask your grandparents when they're going to be home, and put that into your calendar. Now, getting all of these things into your regular routine is amazing, but we also don't want to stop there. Aim to try at least one new thing each month. That might be going for a hike, trying a new pottery class, or maybe driving to a new beach that you haven't been to before. The most memorable things are things that we've never done before. So start incorporating wholesome things into your week, but don't forget to try something new every once in a while. Okay, that is all for today's episode. I really hope that you found it enjoyable, and I hope that the video quality is nicer because I'm using my professional bought from JB Hi-Fi camera. So I'm hoping that it looks really nice. I'm recording it on like my audio, because my microphone won't connect to my microphone. My microphone won't connect to my camera, but I'm recording on voice memo, so I'm hoping that I can sync everything up and it will sound all in time for you guys. fingers crossed that works. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe. And if you're on Spotify, then please give this podcast a rating. It means so much to me and helps it get shared to even more students so we can help even more people. But yeah, that is all. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.